Hello everyone, I've been trying to create a turtle breeding ground on my beach. It has been a very long process. I didn't like my last design pattern that I made for the turtle eggs, so I downloaded this picture off of the internet. I couldn't find a good picture of a dirt hole in the sand on Animal Crossings, so I just made one myself and then went through the process of taking a picture of it, uploading it to Facebook, downloading it onto my computer, and then that was available for me to use. I wanted to create a kind of Animal Crossing themed design overall. I wanted the design to look like it belonged in the game, which was rather challenging. So I enlarged the dirt hole itself, and then I copy-pasted all of the eggs out of the picture. That way I would be working with smaller images that I could adjust by each egg. That way everything could be rotated properly. I like the Bunny Day eggs because they're an egg that's actually in this game. If I put in regular eggs, it wouldn't look like it belonged in this game, so I just went with this. It's very colorful. What you see me doing here is getting rid of the overly pixelated look, creating a design on the inside the game itself actually is the best method for creating something that fits in the game. However, I failed at that, so I'm gonna be using the internet to get a QR code, and that requires the picture to not be very pixely at all. Then what you see me doing here is moving all of the eggs around into their different positions that I'm expecting them to be in when I finish, and enlarging them to make them fit in the hole properly. Then I erase the edges of all of their pictures and straighten up the pixel art on each of the individual eggs, which actually is quite a challenge because it kind of makes the eggs look a little wobbly, but I wasn't focusing too hard on it because a lot of these details are going to be erased, but we want the color to be strong. Otherwise, the program that I'll be using won't understand how to colorize the photo. Because what's gonna happen is the program I'll be using will turn the photo that I made into pixel art that fits in the game, and that has a limited number of colors. We don't want the pixels on the eggs that look super sharp and grainy to affect the coloration of the program. So I spent a lot of time trying to fix this on each individual thing in the picture. And I wasn't really too happy with the fact that my eggs were all different sizes because, man, it really made it look super weird to me. I'm just glad that it didn't look bad at the end. So, in case you don't quite understand why I'm doing this, I'm going to explain why. Beaches are kind of hard to decorate, and I figure I could take up a long portion of my beach with having a ton of turtles that have come up to shore to breed and lay their eggs so that their babies could go out to sea. And so I've placed down a bunch of turtles, but I don't have an egg design that the turtles would have buried into the ground. And that's what this is for. What you see me doing right now is removing all of the background, that way it will be empty. Basically, I don't want this sandy part at the edge to be in the design code at all. I want it to be invisible. And that's one of the major benefits of using Photoshop, is that I can just delete the background on things. And then I go through and fix any pixelation in the dirt itself. Overall, I actually like the picture significantly better on my computer than I do in the game. However, it serves its purpose quite well. I know that the turtles in the game are snapping turtles, but we don't really have access to placeable sea turtles, or any sea turtles for that matter. So I'm just kind of pretending that the snapping turtles are sea turtles. Then what you see me do here is make all of the eggs reappear and then enlarge them to fit in the exact spots where it would actually look good inside the hole, because I want them to look like they actually are inside the hole. And then I erase the parts that are in front of the eggs, that way, you know, they're inside the hole and not just basically falling out in every which way direction. That's kind of irritating. And voila, we have this beautiful thing here. Do some little touch-ups and save it, and then we head to my computer to go onto that website that I was talking about. I type in Animal Crossing Design Maker, and then we go to acpatterns.com, and then I go in and take the image that I want. Then I find out that no matter what I do, my image is way too large. I need a perfectly square image in order for it to even fit in my, like, in the pattern maker that I'm trying to use. So I reopened Photoshop, which I didn't have the intelligence of recording on Photoshop like I did last time. So, but luckily this is something that I did super quickly, and it was really easy. I basically chose to make it 200 by 200 pixels. That way it would be a perfect square. And then I zoom in and I click and drag the old photo in there, and then I adjust the size so that it fits in the square in a way that I like. Once that has occurred, I save it as a PNG file. That way it saves the background as being empty, which I didn't entirely realize that I had put this over top of a background, so you know, that was a totally useless thing to do versus saving it in JPEG. Luckily we can fix that in the pattern maker, and here we go, it fits perfectly. Then what I do is I go and look at every single setting that the pattern maker has, and I just kind of pick what I think looks the best out of all of them. I'm sorry that it doesn't show up very well, but this is what it looks like. Like I said, you don't have very many colors to choose from. And then I went in and made the background invisible again. And then I clicked convert to QR code, and that is the image. That's what you'll be scanning with the Nintendo Switch Online app, which looks like this. And go and click on the Animal Crossing games once you're inside the app. Then you click on Designs, and then you scan the QR code that was on your computer screen and save it. That way you can use it in your game. Then you open up your custom designs and press the plus button to download the design. And then you click OK. And then it should replace whichever one you decided to overwrite. And there we have it. We have it in the game, completely made on Photoshop and on the pattern maker. And I put it in. It's a little disappointed with how bright it looks, but considering most of those eggs are super pastel, that kind of makes sense. And I figured maybe if I put more down, it would look better, like, overall. And I was absolutely right about that, by the way. So since I decided that with more down overall, I was very happy with it, and it was time to go and place down all of the little eggies. My turtles have a very safe space on my island because we care about the environment and how animals are treated here on Animal Crossing in Elris. I had a bit of trouble deciding where I wanted to place some of the eggs, because I wanted every 2 turtles to basically have breeded and laid eggs somewhere, but I wanted some of them to be still breeding and others to, like, be heading towards the water to continue on with their life, because they just finished breeding, and, you know, so some of them are further away from the turtles than others. Some are further up beach, and overall I was pretty happy with it, but I wasn't too happy with how it had this whitish outline. So I downloaded I went back into the design maker and kind of changed the colors of the edges to be a darker brown, which automatically changed all of the ones that I'd already placed, so it kind of blends into the sand a little better. So these eggs are very thoroughly buried in the sand. These turtles did some good work having sex and planting their eggs in the ground. And they have a wonderful home here on Elris. And the baby sea turtles can go out to sea and it'll be wonderful and amazing. And everyone will love watching it whenever the time comes.
Subscribe for more Animal Crossings related content.